Yo, what is going on? Welcome to the Battleground. Today is our Eagles training camp edition. We'll be breaking down the top storylines and key questions heading into this Eagles season. Let's do our first introductions, guys. Joining me today, like last week, it is the man, the myth, the legend. He is Rob Lange. Follow him on Twitter at Philly_Madness. What's good, Rob?
I am just really excited to get my heart broken yet again by another Philadelphia team. I'm really looking forward to another season from someone of what they'll do is they'll win like the first three. Well, I'll get excited and they'll lose 8 straight. Like that's kind of probably the way it's going to break out. So I'm excited to talk about it here today.
Awesome. Also joining us is a special guest. You know him on Twitter at Philly_Mike25, the Philly Talk podcast. Dude, it is a freaking honor that you're joining, man. What is up, man? What's going on?
Hey, another day. As Rob said, we just trying to keep things, as best as possible when it comes to Philly sports. I shouldn't be wearing this hat right now, but I figured I was coming in late, so I just ran up here quick and my Eagles won downstairs. But I'm looking forward to this. Shout out to the Painted Lines for having me on.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also joining us, by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Philly Talk podcast, the link is below in the description, the bio. Also joining us from DSM Media, he is Scotty. Follow him on Twitter at Scotty Drown. You can also subscribe down to DSM Media right down below. What's going on, Scotty?
Not much, man. Thank you for having me on the show. Definitely happy to be here with some guys that I really respect in the Eagles fandom, analytical, content creating world. So I'm happy to be here with you guys. Definitely looking forward to talk some Eagles. And thank you once again to the Painted Lines. I love you guys over at that network. So awesome to be here.
Appreciate that, bro. So what are we doing today, guys? Like last week, we had Philly RB on our first iteration of our game show. So it's kind of like apples to apples. Whoever gets 3 victory points wins. Everybody here will get 60 seconds to make their point on these questions. If you're the judge, you pick the question. I don't know what Rob's going to say. I don't know what Mike or Scotty are going to say, but the judge picks the winner, and whoever gets 3 goes and gets the championship, I guess. It's all for fun. Let's look at the comments. We have Sylvan, son of the living God. I'm the first one. I'm a subscriber, man. Awesome. Thank you for joining. That's awesome. Sonic 2.25. What up? What is going on? And he says, my boy, Philly Mike, man. Let's go. Since I'm hosting, I will pick the first question. It's a question that I think will be pretty interesting. I'm interested to see what you guys give me here. And that question is, what is your way too early season win prediction for the Eagles? And let's start off with Rob. You're up, bro.
Oh my God. I'm still like dying from the Sixers loss here, and I got to figure this out. I don't know, man. I'm so demoralized by everything that has to do with Philadelphia sports these days. Look, I think what did Vegas set the number, like 4.5? I think it's over that. I think this team finds a way to get to. I'm going to give it 6 wins. If they were to do that, I think that's a step in the right direction. 95% of Philly will be miserable, and I'll probably be in that group cursing them and firing coaches and benching quarterbacks and firing Howie Roseman for the 37th consecutive year, I feel like. But I think 6 is a good number. I think this team is not like 3-win bad, but I also don't know if they're 9 or 10-win good. So I'm going to stick right there in the middle. I'm going to go with 6 wins for this team, which I guess in this weird year is 6-11 now. I guess that's what we have to say. All
right. Let's throw it to Scotty. You're up.
Yeah, so I'm not too far off by my man there. I got him about 7-8 wins. Definitely not, the 4 wins that we saw last year. That was painful, dreadful. I expect to see, a little bit of growth this season. Hopefully, we just have some huge ifs on the team. So that's why I can't go full on 8-9 or 9-8, giving them like a positive win total there as far as the ratio. But 6-7 wins, I think that's a win in itself for this season. Like I said before we came on the show, I got low expectations, so it's allowing me to live a little bit freer these days. But definitely around that 6, 7, 8 win mark. A lot of big question marks that need to be answered.
All right, that wraps that up. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit more optimistic, and I do agree we can find ourselves in that 6 win area. But I've been saying 8 wins. I could see it a little bit less, like they were saying. There's a lot of ifs. The 2 biggest being our quarterback, Coach Tangem. That is how you win games in football. It's not so much of the defense anymore with this new passing league. People forget to run the ball, including Doug Peterson. That's part of the reason why he wasn't here. But if you just factor the right side being a little healthy, and that is an if you factor Nick Sirianni using the run game when we had a good running back, and just the fact that Jalen Hurts, although he's new, can't be as bad as Carson last year. That's 2 to 3 wins right there, and that brings you to around 7, 8. And as long as the trajectory is pointing up, I'm cool. Like Rob said, Philly fans are going to be mad, but we just won 4 games. I got us winning 8, and that's going to keep us competitive in this ugly division because there's still a lot of ifs in Dallas, New York, and Washington.
All right. Who gets the W here? We have Philly fan PSU saying 8 to 9. Sylvan says, if we can get a solid number 2 defensive back, we can compete. And I'm going to go with Mike. You get it, man. You got it, man. Optimism is my vibe. That's what I'm all about to my soul. And in the world of just negative and hateful social media, like everyone's already claiming Nick Sirianni is a bust. Get the fuck out of here, man. I love the optimism.
Wait a minute. If it's got to be optimistic, I got no shot.
Well, I'm not always going to be the judge, so I'm not always going to be the judge.
Fair enough.
All right. Yo, man, you get to pick the next question.
All right. The next question, I'm going to go with, this is a good one. Is Miles Sanders overrated?
Is Miles Sanders overrated? All right. Hold on. Let me get the thing up. Miles.
That was one that I didn't want to answer.
That's how you play, man. That's how you play. Usually make everyone else answer the terrible ones. All right, bro. Who's up first?
And because you haven't gotten to any action left, we're gonna go with you.
Yeah,
Mr.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. There it is. All right. I'm going to say no, but I think it's a little bit closer than probably you guys think. Like, no one denies that he's young. No one denies that Miles Sanders is talented. There's a reason to be optimism about this guy's future, but sometimes the proof is in the pudding, and the Eagles' new coaching staff must find a way for this guy to get unlocked moving forward. You look at the poor pass protection, you talk about way too many fumbles. The potential is there, but dude, this guy was checked out under Carson Wentz. And it's not hard to see why he struggled so much. You look at how Doug Peterson hated running the ball. 433 rushing attempts to 597 passing attempts. So I expect a huge year, though, from Miles Sanders, simply for the fact that I expect Nick Sirianni to commit to the run this year. I expect a huge breakout year from Miles Sanders, just for the simple fact that we're going to be setting up the pass via the run. So I expect more balanced offensive attack.
All right. So we're gonna go with Scotty. I see him looking at looking to the side. He's getting ready.
Yeah. So I guess it all really depends on your perspective of Miles Sanders. In my eyes, I feel like, he's probably like a top 15 talent-wise running back in the NFL. But with the optimism that comes with Miles Sanders, his ultimate talents, comes the kind of things, the question marks that come with him. So the drop passes, Deibs mentioned the fumbles, just kind of, the durability concerns are also a worry for me. You've seen him. Once he gets down the stretch, he's getting used a lot during the late part of the season, and he tweaks something in the leg. So just kind of waiting to see what we're going to see in an offense, like Deibs said, that's going to prioritize the run. We'll get to see him in his element, and if there's any time where he can prove himself, it's going to be this season under first-year head coach Nick Sirianni. I think he's going to lean on the run heavy this year.
All right. Go ahead, Rob.
I mean, for me, it's an undecided thing. Yeah, I don't think you've seen enough of him because Doug Peterson did not establish a running game over the last couple of seasons with Miles here. But I got to tell you, my biggest issue with Miles Sanders isn't on the field because I think he has a skill set, even though he hasn't shown it. I don't know how mentally tough this guy is. He seems to be a mentally weak guy who lets everything outside of him affect his play. We could say he wasn't, vibing with Carson Wentz. Screw that, dude. You were dropping passes, hitting you dead in the numbers. And then you were going to sit there and you were going to bitch to the media or do these little unnamed source type stuff that he was doing. That's the stuff that pissed me off with Miles Sanders. I was thrilled when they draft this guy, and I think that there's potential for him. But just like a lot of the young guys on this team, they need to get a little bit more mentally tough for me before I truly embrace them as Eagles.
All right. We got the dub.
I think you all had great points. Although Scotty and Rob, they had their talks of they expect things to come out, but I don't think they really ever said yes, overrated or no, underrated. Scotty put him in his top 15, or he should be that way. And he gave him, and Rob gave him a bunch of praises, but also the tough love like Philly fans do. But, I didn't know if they're leaning, is he more underrated or overrated? I kept it in between. I'm going to have to go with you just because you kind of answered the question. I think Scotty was going that.
No.
And I love because I have him at when I did my running back rankings after he was ranked 27, I had him 16. So there's 15 backs I can say better. So Scotty almost hit it on the nose for that. I just didn't think he answered the full question for me. But yeah, man, he definitely, as Rob said, got a lot to prove. We'll see if he does it.
All right. So I got the W. It's 101 here. Let's go. I'm going to pick the next question here. And this is a juicy one. This is a really juicy one. Let's go with – I'm going to go with which position battle are you watching closest during training camp? Let's lead us off, Mike. You're up, bro.
Well, we're going to go right to that left tackle position, a position that is very important for your quarterback to either succeed or not succeed. He's a right-handed quarterback. It's his blind side. That's a great movie, by the way. And in that movie, there's a quote, "Run the damn ball." So hopefully that gets put into here as well. But, yeah, it definitely got to be there. Andre Dillard looks more confident. And if you listen to Jeff Stoutland's quotes, he was in the meetings the whole time. He was training like if he was going to play. He was quizzed throughout the week, and he looks determined to take the job back. Although Jordan Mailata showed you everything you want from a guy who was given nothing and had to work for everything, I think it's going to be a real solid battle. The number one thing that Nick Sirianni keeps preaching is competition, and that is going to be the hardest one. I think they both have a chance to win it. First round pick, rugby player. I think right now it leans to Jordan Mailata, but I'm not sleeping on Andre Dillard, and that's a very important side of the ball.
Scotty, you're up, bro.
Yeah, so Philly Mike, you definitely feel you on the offensive line side of things there. I was going to go that route, but I'll go in a different route. I'm interested to see how this wide receiver corps plays itself out. You got a ton of young talent there. There's not much experience left in that part of the position battles. But it's going to be interesting to see these young, hungry players get to battle it out. You got Fulgham coming back. He had a stellar season last year. You got Rager coming back in. He needs to reprove himself, right? He was a first-round draft pick. You got Devonta Smith coming in, Heisman winner. He's bringing a great aura to the room. But then you got guys like Greg Ward that have kind of found their niche in the offense. Quez Watkins, who showed a ton of potential. So all of these guys, I'm just interested to see how it plays out. We got Jay Jaw, a second-round pick that still hasn't found his way on the field. It's going to be interesting to see that play out.
Wide receiver, left tackle. Where are you going, Rob?
Yeah, I got a really interesting one because I don't think they have anyone on the roster to play the position, and that would be CB2. I don't understand how you go into a season every year asking the same question for 3, 4, 5 years. How is it that Avonte Maddox right now is the only guy you could slot in at the second corner? You've seen Avonte Maddox on the outside. It ain't good. He's got to move into the inside. Hey, maybe Zach McPherson could play, but I don't want to trust it on a rookie. You got Darius Slay on one side. Why the Philadelphia Eagles have not brought in one of these guys, preferably in my mind. I have a guy's name, but I'll save it in case the question comes up later. It's impossible. So, yeah, that's a hell of a battle because literally there's no one there. Do not sell me on Avonte Maddox. I don't have to listen to Doug Peterson bullshit line anymore. Get me a second quarter for the love of Jesus Christ.
All right, time is up. All really good choices, definitely among the top needs. We have Sylvan saying wide receiver like Scotty. We have, I saw left tackle there somewhere. There it is. Gio Theodosis says left tackle. Quez Watkins is my guy, and Avonte Maddox is a slot corner, 100%. I grew up watching Jim Johnson football. Like sometimes the proof of the pudding is in the trenches. I can't not pick Mike on this one. The Eagles season is all about giving Jalen Hurts that tryout season. You're not going to know a goddamn thing if this guy's running for his life, 2 seconds before the pocket collapsed last year. That is a joke. It really, at the end of the day, is about protecting Jalen Hurts. And the worst scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles is this time next year when we have no idea what Jalen Hurts is, like last year for Carson and Jalen, where the O-line was in shambles. The wide receivers were dropping passes. They couldn't create separation. That's the winner. So Philly, Mike, you got 2. You get to choose the next question.
And I know Scotty was probably going to that left tackle position. He was like, dang, I had to read. But wide receiver was my second one. If I figured whoever went first was going to go to the left tackle position, and I had my wide receivers, stuck in my head too. But I got lucky on that one.
I was going to throw in the left tackle, and then I was even going to throw in the left guard if Landon Dickerson can, show his stuff in training camp. If he can get healthy. At the beginning of the season, that would be interesting to see him battle it out with Isaac. But definitely a great point. I can't disagree there, Mike.
All right, so I 2 of them that I was one I was kind of curious to see what you guys say. So, who is the Philadelphia Eagles' most underrated player? Underrated player. No love, but he's good.
All right.
I'm gonna let Rob take it off. I see it looked like he's the brain's going.
Man, that one is God, I'm so down on this team. Like to me, they all just stink right now. Underrated player on this team. Oh God. Listen, if this guy's healthy, Brandon Brooks has been the best guard in the game whenever he's played. And this guy has consistently been told he's done, he can't come back, and multiple times has come back stronger after injury. So I think people are forgetting about Brandon Brooks right now because of the injuries, obviously, because he's getting older. But we just talked about it. Biggest thing for this team is the offensive line to protect Jalen Hurts. Well, to do that, the right side of that line needs to be healthy. People always talk about Lane Johnson. I don't think enough people talk about Brandon Brooks and the difference he makes when he's in there. Like, he had that crazy-ass stat where he gave up, 1 sack a couple years ago. I mean, to me, and probably because he's a guard, Brandon Brooks is totally underrated from a fan standpoint.
All right, Brandon Brooks to Rob. Who is next? Philly Mike.
We'll go with Scotty.
All right, bro. You're up, Scotty.
Yeah, so underrated. There's a lot of avenues I could have took here. I do agree. I think the offensive line in general is being underrated going into this season. Just the fact that they're healthy as a whole unit is going to make the offense look a ton better. But I'm going to go Dallas Goddard here, man. And it's because maybe not underrated as a talent perspective, but underrated as to what he's going to mean to the offense this year. Now this is under the, thinking that Zach Ertz isn't going to be the starting tight end. I believe Dallas Goddard takes that step into the starting role. It's a contract year for Dallas Goddard, so he's got to show us what he's really about. We haven't seen him put together the full thing, but he's great in the pass. He's great in the receiving game. You can run screens with him. You can get him involved over the middle. Great pass blocker, great run blocker, so you can get him involved in all sorts of ways. And a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. It's a safety valve. So I look for Dallas Goddard to be a huge part of that offense.
Nicely done, Scotty. All right, I am up, and I'm going Anthony freaking Harris, baby. I think this is a guy that a lot of people are sleeping on. He had a down season last year, but he's not too long removed from being that franchise tag guy on the Minnesota Vikings. He was Pro Football Focus's #1 greatest safety 2 years ago. He had 6 interceptions. He was awesome. Now he's reunited with Jonathan Gannon, his former position coach. He's due for a huge bounce back year. This is safety with a ton of ball skills. I'm hopeful that Anthony Harris can help the Eagles reverse their lack of turnovers, which is hands down one of the biggest issues on this team. Anthony Harris had 6 interceptions 2 years ago. The Eagles were 4th worst in interceptions last year. Backup safety Marcus Epps had led the team with 2 freaking interceptions. Are you freaking kidding me? Get the hell out of here. Anthony Harris is also only 25 years old. Fits the curve for the Eagles moving forward. So you look at Rodney McLeod coming off ACL injury, it is Anthony Harris that will take a big step for this defense.
Woo. Great points. Because I can really see all. I mean, there's a reason why Zach Ertz is still on this roster. Are they that? I mean, are they do they really believe that Dallas can beat tight end 1? But I really like Rob's, though, because I just recently did a round table with a Giants content creator, a Washington football content creator, and a Cowboy content creator. And they really were poo-pooing on Brandon Brooks, talking about left leg, right leg, shoulder. How's this guy going to come back? Not trying to just disregard the whole he's probably right behind Zach Martin, the Cowboys guy, if not, right there with him neck and neck, a Hall of Fame type resume, and he's not being talked about. It's about what is Lane Johnson doing? Is Jason Kelsey still going to be here? And the left tackle position. So it's hard to say Brandon Brooks being, a guy who made all pros being underrated, but I think, and he put it out there as in a fan's perspective, Eagle fan and just fans of the NFL who going to play the Eagles, they'll talk about all these names on our offensive line and they'll forget to mention Brandon Brooks. And for some reason, he does always look stronger. The dude tears ACL. Now he's kickboxing. The dude tears his ACL. The dude doing, he's an animal. So y'all had great ones. And I like Anthony Harris too, but I think I have to go with Rob on this one.
Nice.
Right.
Rob gets the W. Sylvan says Jordan Mailata. No one picked Jordan Mailata, who I love. So anyway, Rob, where are you going next, man? Oh, by the way, Vic 3 says, what's going on? Thanks for joining, Vic 3. Thank you.
Hit that sub button, Vic 3.
I got to put this question just because I can't wait to hear Deibs talk about him because I know it's one of his favorite things in the world to talk about. But I'm going to make Deibs go last anyway, just so he has to sit there and listen to everybody else. So, will Jalen Reagor show he was worthy of a first-round pick in 2021? We're going to start right underneath me here with Scotty.
Yeah, so I do. I think he will show his worth this season. I think bringing in Devonta Smith, another first-round wide receiver, is going to take a lot of pressure off Reagor. Everybody should and will be looking towards Devonta Smith to take that huge step in his rookie year. But I'll be looking at Jalen Reagor with all the attention off of him being put in the right situations with Nick Sirianni. If Nick Sirianni is the head coach that we think he is, that we brought him in to be, he's going to put these wide receivers in positions where they can make plays that fit their talent set. So I think Reagor in this offense, they can use him a multitude of ways. You can put him on special teams. He can become this very dynamic weapon. I also have read that, he may have been a little overweight last year. If he can get back into that shape, get that explosiveness back that he showed at TCU, definitely think he can show his worth this season.
Well said, Scotty.
Very good. All right, we're going to go Mike because Deibs has to go last on this one.
Gotcha. So there's a couple reasons why. One, I believe not only will Devonta Smith take pressure off him, it's a slap in the face. Who goes back-to-back wide receivers in the first round? You got something to prove. He had to delete his social media. He came back more professional, not worrying about what everybody's think. What is Justin Jefferson doing? What do I look like in the fans' eyes? He's worried about football. Another thing, as Scotty pointed out, we're going to play a little bit of spread, but it's a West Coast offense. Ball in his hand, inside 5 yards, yak. He came into the league second to CeeDee Lamb in yards after the catch. Yes, he can go deep. He showed 4.2 speed in the little one he did by himself. He was slower the one he did in front of the public side. But at the end of the day, you want to get this guy in space. Nick Sirianni is going to utilize that because Jalen Hurts will thrive off that. The play action, RPO, get it out quick. There's no reason why he can't succeed in a offense that features his skill set.
All right.
So yes, he's the first round talent.
All right, Deibs.
I love it. I love this comment. Rieger will have better stats than Devonta Smith in 2021. I think we just became best friends. Oh, wait. All right. Yes, Jalen Rieger will definitely show he's worthy of a first-round pick. His improvement from year 1 to year 2 is everything. One of the top storylines to watch in training camp. What I'm interested in most, and Philly Mike touched on it, is this guy's actually finally going to be put in position to succeed. We're going to see him in the slot a lot more this year. They really kind of forced him on the outside. Coming into last year, he already was a poor route runner. That was one of the biggest weaknesses for the Philadelphia wide receivers last year. And that, everyone's kind of piling on him. And he came into the league struggling with that. With a shortened offseason, it makes a lot of sense. I can't deny his route running was terrible. I can't deny that his yak was terrible. But Doug Peterson did not put him in position to succeed, getting him the ball in space. That is what Jalen Rieger is all about. Put him in the slot. With Devonta moving all over around the field, you've got something special there. So for me, in Aaron Moorhead, I trust. I got to believe that Jalen Rieger is going to, bring the fire this year.
And listen, for those of you who don't know, that the talk all year last year on Broad was me and Deibs basically going back and forth, because when the draft was here, before it happened, I was Mr. Justin Jefferson. I said, stop with these only a slot receiver. Stop with the guy can't. I said, the guy just dominated at the highest level of college football. And everyone told me, no, Jalen Rieger fits. Jalen Rieger fits. Now everybody's telling me he didn't fit Doug Peterson. So I don't know what the hell I had to believe. So just because of last year, Deibs is out. He can't win. Just because of last year, I'm not going to let him win. And it's one of these situations where Scotty and Mike were so good, but damn it, I don't want the show to end. And if I give Mike a win, I can't be responsible for that. I think I was responsible for that the other night. I can't do it again now. So I'm giving Scotty a win just so we can keep going.
Right.
W by any means.
Hey, Scotty had some great points. I piggybacked off when he used the Devonta Smith thing. That's when it popped in my head. Not only is he going to help him, but it was in the slap in the face. But go ahead. Now I got to impress Scotty.
Yeah.
The show must go on. The show must go on. We have quick comments. Sylvan says, I hope Carson Wentz wins MVP so Howie Roseman can get fired 100%.
Go for it. Damn it, I hate the hate, man.
Rieger will improve, but temper expectations. And Devonta will be this year's Justin Jefferson. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? Dude would own the city. He would own it.
Literally.
All right, Scotty. What are we doing next?
All right. So we actually kind of touched on it a little bit. So I'm interested to just kind of get all of you guys' perspectives on this, because it seems like you guys have a lot to say about this. So Andre Dillard or Jordan Mailata, who are you going with? Do you wait it out? What's the plan there? Who do you trust the most with that position going into the season? And I will go ahead and start with you, Deibs.
All right. Start the clock. For me, it simply boils down to availability and versatility. 10 starts last year. Jordan Mailata showed he has the potential to become a true franchise left tackle. He showed progress. He was probably undoubtedly like one of the biggest bright spots of last year, as much of a shit show that was. But you look at like where Andre Dillard is at mentally, where he did gain some strength. I just don't know that he can cut it when it comes to versatility and being able to play all over the offensive line. That is the name of the game when it comes to offense. You look at how he just completely bombed playing right tackle. Jordan Mailata is that guy that will play all over the place. You remember that play when Carson Wentz got hurt and he was the first one there and he chased that MFer down? That's the Jordan Mailata I love. And I'm going with Jordan Mailata here as my starting left tackle, just because we're rebuilding an identity. We're rebuilding, an image for this locker room. Jordan Mailata, mentally stronger, and I love that guy in run protection, run blocking, way more than Andre Dillard.
All right. Yeah, definitely great points there. And I know the exact play that you're talking about. Very Jason Peters like. Yeah, bodyguard type of play. Definitely need that presence on the offensive line. So I will go with Rob. You can go next, my man.
All right, Mailata. There's no question for me. It's Jordan Mailata. I'm sick and tired of these guys overthinking it. Doug ain't here. Keep Howie's ass up in the booth. Let the kid build off of what he did last year. Deibs said he was one of the bright spots. He was the only bright spot this year. Okay, this guy came in, never played football before. People had already written him off, and he comes in and gives you more than the first-round pick Andre Dillard did in his first couple seasons. I know there were injuries there, but Andre Dillard seems like a head case to me, folks. I don't know if this guy's ever going to be able to get it right. At this point, why would you break up a bad thing unless you just want to be an ass? Or a good thing. Why would you break up a good thing? Jordan Mailata played really well last year. Ride it out with him. This kid has it, man, and he's a tough brawler. It's Jordan Mailata's job, and an injury is the only way he should lose it. Knock on wood.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Philly Mike.
Yeah, man, you gotta go with Jordan Mailata, although iron sharpens iron. So because he got the nod and he might get the reps with the one, doesn't mean Andre Dillard can't show something in camp. But I'm definitely giving the edge to Mailata. He brought the Philly blue-collar toughness in, running to go knock somebody down after the play, 15 yards from the ball. If you watch that Quez Watkins touchdown, his only touchdown of the season, Jordan Mailata blocked like 3 guys on that play. He's that one guy who won't stop going into the plays over, always around the quarterback, helping him up, just a guy who's ready to compete. And if you watch closely at the throughout the season, which I know you guys did, he was winning off pure strength. He has things he got to get better with his hands and his foot placement, but who better than Jeff Stoutland? So being so young to the game of football, not rugby, we saw big strides, and it can only get better. It's not going to go worse because of his stature, so I don't see him losing.
All right. That is, I think we can all agree, this is Jordan Mailata's job to lose rather than win. Oh, did I freeze or we're back? All right.
Back.
I'm good. All right. That was weird. All right. Let's get some quick comments. I love this comment. Dillard or Mailata, I trust Jeff Stoutland, 100 best coach on the team. And I don't care if you drafted Andre Dillard first round, last round, Jordan Mailata is coming. I love it. And I don't think there's going to be much competition between Mailata and Dillard. I agree. I still think he's going to be on the trade block. Scotty, who got the W?
Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and say, I think I agree with all of you guys. I think it's Mailata's job to lose. But I would say it is a competition. Go ahead into training camp with the idea that, let these guys compete. If Andre Dillard, comes out and blows expectations out of the water, don't be afraid to go that route. But with that being said, I'm going to give the W to Rob because I feel like he kind of kept it simple. It is just as simple as if it's not broke, don't fix it. Let this guy go ahead and play it out. He played really well last year. Let's see if he can continue it. Why risk, throwing Dillard into a bad situation?
Yes, sir.
All right. Rob's got 2. Rob's got 2 W's. Philly Mike's got 2 W's, and me and Scotty have 1. Rob, what are we doing next?
All right, so I'm going to ask a question that I already kind of touched on, so I want to see where everybody else is at that. What should the Eagles do at the CB2 position? Where should they go? What should they do? Mike, I want to start with you on this one.
Well, I just made a video. There's this wild – oh, wait. There's a wild Bleacher Report article out saying that we're a top landing spot for Xavier Howard, who's getting paid a lot of money. I mean, you would have to get Zach Ertz off the roster. You would have to do a couple more restructures. It could be done, but that's pushing it. That would just make the secondary great because Slay goes to CB2 now. And I think he had a solid year. He got beat by a couple number ones, but in a bad scheme, a lot of people would have got beat putting him on an island. But I think the best thing to do is just go get Steven Nelson. I mean, it's what, $500,000, $1 million we're talking about. He's 28 years old. He is going to be on a prove it deal. So he's a guy that can give you a Band-Aid, but it's not a 1-year Band-Aid. If he plays up to par, he can get a contract like Eric Wilson, like Anthony Harris. We got a lot of 1-year guys in the making, and he's not 30 years old like Richard Sherman was before he got locked up. So Steven Nelson would be the easiest fix. Just go get him.
I love it. Deibs, what do you got for me?
All right, you're not going to like this, Rob. Like, the easiest answer is Avonte Maddox, but I'm not buying it. For me, this guy was outmatched last year. I'm going with Zach McPherson on the outside. This is a rebuilding year. The Eagles cannot, fast forward this play. They need to take their time and rebuild the right way. This is a guy with a 40-plus inch vertical. His cone drill was unbelievable. He's got great size. He makes plays. You look at Devonta Maddox, 0 interceptions last year. Goose egg. Let's put a guy in and let's see what we got. We cannot end the 2021 season with just, 2 or 3 young guys, and that's it. We need to find some diamonds in the rough. Give this guy a chance. The Eagles secondary was absolutely god-awful last year. The first solution to a problem is admitting that you have one. Let's slow play this and not jump the gun and mess up this entire rebuild. Let's see what we got Jalen Hurts. Let's see what we got in Zach McPherson as my cornerback too.
Interesting.
All right, Scotty, finish this out.
Yeah, so Deibs, Mike, you both had great points. Deibs, I definitely get, the not want to kind of screw with the rebuild there. But I'm leaning more towards Philly Mike in this situation. I think the easy answer, the easy solution is to bring in a guy like Steven Nelson. He's had a great year. He's had great seasons in the past, had sort of a down year a little bit, just to bring his value down enough for a team like the Eagles to come in, swoop in, and pick up maybe a diamond in the rough. You don't know. I think when you look at some of these lower level free agents, you just got to take chances on these guys, similar to Eric Wilson, Anthony Harris. Invest that one simple year into them, and you might find a key piece for your future. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that. If we don't go the free agency route, if we don't go the Xavier Howard route through the trade market, I do think you have to throw McPherson out there over Avonte Maddox. I'm definitely not going the Avonte Maddox route again. Stick him back in the slot before you totally ruin his confidence.
Okay. All right, so Deibs. How the hell does it ruin the rebuild to sign a 28-year-old to a 1-year prove-it deal? It doesn't. Here's where you screwed up. Not you, the Eagles. You had a chance to draft 10 other guys that you could have put in there as a rookie, and we all would have said, absolutely. Instead, you went smartest guy in the room again and drafted a guy that may be good, but not many people are fully on board with. Listen, as Mike was giving his answer, it's literally sounded like me giving this conversation 50 million other people. Like anytime someone asks me, I just scream about why is Steven Nelson not on the roster? So as much as it pains me because I would have liked to have had a chance to win today, I got to give it to Mike because he literally sounded exactly like me with Steven Nelson. So Mike is the winner of the Battleground today.
Nice.
Hey, shout out to you. Hey, and I do want to say this real quick, though. There's a guy named Michael Jaquette who got cooked against the Cowboys, but again, undrafted rookie free agent being left on an island with guys like Gallup and Cooper. I think him being 6'1", a little versatile. I watched his tape. The games that he played good, there's something there. He's still on the roster. I mean, it's their only 6'1" body. And like you said, we're not. I mean, I'm with the Steven Nelson thing, but if we do a Howie Roseman, oops, we're not going to fill it. Don't be surprised if he doesn't get out there because I saw in the early OTAs he was out there getting snaps, and it's scary. But I mean, everyone's scary.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Here's my thing. At some point, you have to develop talent. At some point, the Eagles are going to have to take that step and actually give a shit about developing young talent. That's my only stance. And you look at the Philadelphia Phillies, you look at the Philadelphia Flyers. If you guys want to be mediocre, that's fine. But the time has come, the Sixers, the Eagles must be able to slow play and do it right. And some of that, they have to take a step back first.
But the difference between the NFL and those other two leagues is the slow play does not have to be as extreme.
You're right.
Exactly.
Because the NFL, you can have a quicker turnaround. And it's not like you're saying put Richard Sherman out there for a year. You're saying put a 28-year-old guy who wants to prove it. And by the way, you give him a shot. Maybe he signs here if he plays well enough. And now Zach McPherson can grow because I don't know if this kid's right. Look, I'll be the first one to tell you. They drafted Zach McPherson. I said, who the hell is this guy? I've never heard of him. I'm not going to pretend like I know him. But there's something to be said about trying. You don't have to tank in the NFL like you do in some of these other leagues. And to me, going out there with their depth chart the way it is, that cornerback position, without signing someone, it's just it's a slap in the face of your fan base to do that. It's a slap in the face.
Should we do a quick run through with Devonta? Anybody?
We can.
Yeah. Should we do
That
it?
was one of the questions. I'm surprised nobody picked that.
I know, me too, man.
But that was one of the yeah.
All right. Let's do a quick run through. John Mark King, thanks for the awesome comment. Let's go. Philly Mike, what are your season expectations for Devonta Smith?
Now they're going to be a little bit bigger than a lot of people think because listen, this guy's coming in with not a chip on his shoulder, but he has a lot of pressure. It's been 20 plus years since a wide receiver won a Heisman Trophy. You know what I mean? And when you look at Alabama wide receivers, Julio, great career. Calvin Ridley, starting off pretty good. Amari Cooper, he got some route running skills. Jerry Jeudy had a successful rookie season. Ruggs is a big name. And now another Alabama receiver got picked before him. He has to show out or it's going to be a big slap that a Heisman Trophy winner is one of the worst Alabama wide receivers. When you look at these group of names, he's going to be our number one. He's going to get volume. Hopefully the body can withstand the volume, but I love his route running. He got great hands and there's no reason why if he gets 75 plus passes to his way, he shouldn't get close to 1,000 close.
Love it. What about you, Scotty? What's your season expectations for Devonta?
Yeah, so just like I said about Jalen Reagor earlier, I said that Devonta Smith would take some pressure off Reagor. As Philly Mike said, there's a ton of pressure on Devonta Smith as that another first-round wide receiver, another first-round Alabama wide receiver. My point here is that Devonta Smith, I think coming from a school like Bama, I think he can handle that pressure that he's taken off of Reagor. I'm looking for him to step in year one, finally show us a wide receiver that has all the tools. I know everybody's worried about his size. I don't think that's going to be as big of a factor as everybody thinks. We sat here and watched Deshaun Jackson play for years, right? And we didn't mind that. So I think Devonta Smith is probably a more polished wide receiver with an all-around talent-wise. And I just look at him to continue that. Coming off the Heisman season, he had over 1,800 yards last year for Bama. 23 touchdowns. So I'm expecting some big things from him. He has the Alabama connection with Jalen Hurts, so they have that familiarity there. I got huge expectations for Devonta Smith. I'm trying to temper him down so I'm not disappointed, but I'm excited.
What about you, Rob?
Devonta Smith is a dog. He is a dog. He is a grind him out, go get him, doesn't care. And guess what? That chip on his shoulder is a family-sized bag of chips on his shoulder because the way people bash this dude going into the draft because of his size, and every answer, he never got cocky. He's just real calm, cool, collected. And all I know is I watched this guy a lot last year, and I watched him put up stats in the first half of the game, and even play in the second half, and I think he still might have been the leading wide receiver in the game in that national championship game. Devonta Smith, listen, I don't buy jerseys that much anymore. I'm 36 years old. I already have my Devonta Smith jersey. So say I expect big things out of Devonta Smith is the understatement of the year. I'm looking rookie of the year.
Wow.
Devonta Smith this year.
Love it, man. All right.
I would just have to say this. If there's one thing that I don't like about Devonta Smith, is he's a Boston Celtic fan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Guess what? After what the Sixers did this year, I may be a Boston Celtics fan. If Dave Lillard is not on this team, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know the last time the Eagles had a 1,000-yard wide receiver? Do you know when that happened?
Macklin.
2014, man. It's been 6 years.
Hey, wait. Give a close effort to Jordan Matthews, 997 or 998? He just
Wait, was that Jordan Matthews' career total or just one season?
No, one season.
All right. Yeah, I'm not a needy guy. I'll start the time here. I'm not a needy guy. Like, on the surface, I just want this guy to get open, man. We already touched on it earlier. One of the hardest things to watch on that Eagles team last year were having wide receivers that couldn't create separation, couldn't beat their man off the line. They were horrendous in their routes. Devonta Smith's route running is amazing. Philly Mike, you touched on it. You know, this guy can he simply ate man coverage, man matchups, zone defenses for breakfast at Alabama. He's, even better. He can play the Z. He can play the X. He can play the slot. I expect Nick Sirianni to put him all over the field. I go back to Deshaun Jackson's rookie year where he had like 900 yards, 62 receptions, 2 touchdowns. I think that's right in the area where I expect Devonta Smith to finish this year. Rookie of the year could be a stretch, but you look at Jalen Hurts going downfield. He had how many? 14 passes of 30 yards or more in 5 games? I expect that to go way up this year, and the explosive play will come back to the Philadelphia Eagles in 2021. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Hold on. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. Hey, guys. Let's wrap this up. Philly Mike, where can we find you, man? What do you got going on? Plugs time.
Hey, you can find me at the Philly Talk Podcast. All you got to do is search it on Google, YouTube. I'll come up. Even Philly Mike at this point comes up. Yeah, training camp's going to be big. I cover pretty much every single thing. I'm one of them guys that if there's any article that is worth speaking about, so I try to put out at least 5 out of 7 days. I'm dropping the Eagles video. Same with Sixers. That's what I do. A little bit too much. But yeah, I love talking about it, and that's what we're going to be. And I'm actually going to try to be there in August or the training camp ones. I'm trying to get my tickets so, we can do all that. But yeah, so all you got to do, type in that. And shout out to you guys, though.
Thank you so much for joining, man. This is going to be – I want to do these a lot just to have a lot of fun with this Eagles season. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of success on the field, but at least off the field we can, just, shoot the shit a little bit. Scotty, where can we find you, man? Talk about DSM Radio, DSM Media.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, you already hit the nail on the head there. At DSM_media on Twitter. Be sure to follow us on there. You'll find our YouTube page there, DSM Media. We got about 7 or 8 shows coming out a week right now, so we're just trying to put out a lot of content. Philly Mike, if you make it out to that open practice on August 22nd, hit me up. We're setting up out there. We're going to do a live show. Would love all of you guys. If you guys are around, if you guys can head out to that, we will be there. We'll have pizza, beer, so definitely come check it out. We would love to have you. But you can find me on Twitter at Scotty Drown. That's where I'm most active, so that's where you'd want to find me. But thank you once again, Deibs. Painted Lines. It's been a pleasure being on here, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Rob, you're up, man.
You can find me at Philly_madness. That's where I'll be throughout the seasons, giving you all of my anger and hostility towards the Philly teams. I'm expecting that by September we have a lot of fun things to talk about, whether it be the Eagles. I think a lot of things may start breaking our way. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overly optimistic today, but check me out. Check me out right here with Deibs. Party on Broad, all the podcasts we do here at the Painted Lines.
Thank you. All right, guys, I just want to say thank you to Philly Mike, Scotty, Rob, everybody for commenting. If you guys are new here, please be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. We put out videos every day, at least sometimes 2-3 times a day. And grinder to grinder, man. If you guys aren't already following Scotty and Rob and Philly Mike, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. These are the best grinders out there. So thank you for watching. We'll be back for another Eagles game show next week. I'll be dropping videos about training camp every day moving forward. And we'll be doing me and Tiago got a couple scouting reports on some bucket getters, Austin Reeves and Trey Mann coming out starting within the next 2 hours. So the NBA draft coverage continues. So guys, thank you everyone for watching.